Welcome to another Wolfpack Wargaming. We're playing a 1500 point game against Death Guard and Tyranids. And we're going to be playing Mission 4, which is What's Yours is Mine. We've rolled for deployment, and it's going to be Hammer and Anvil. We have two objective markers. This is the Tyranids over here. We have the Death Guard over here. We have the secondary missions. The Tyranids will be going for Recon, Old School, and Behind Enemy Lines. And Death Guard will be going for
Gangbusters, Old School, and the Reaping.
Alright, so we have here 1500 points of Tyranids that we're trying out. We've got a unit of 20 Hormagaunts that are going to go in this Tyrannosite. We have a unit of 30 Termagaunts and then 21 Termagaunts. We have the Swarm Lord as well as a Hive Tyrant with wings there. We have a unit of 3 Carnifexes and then 2 units of Hive Guard.
On the Chaos side of things, we are running a Death Guard battalion. 2 HQs are the Demon Prince of Nurgle, and am I reading that right? No, I'm going on my Demon detachment. I have a Demon battalion, which has got the Demon Prince of Chaos, Mark of Nurgle, Porticulus Slimix is the other HQ. For troops, we got 3 units of 3 Nurglings. And then we've taken the Plague Toads as a fast attack choice. We've also taken the fortifications so we can put the trees that the snail's going to be popping up. The Feculent Gnarlmaws. And then we've taken a battalion of Death Guard as well. That is with the Demon Prince of Nurgle and a Malignant Plague Caster for the 2 HQs. For troops, we got 2 units of Chaos Cultists, 10-man strong, and a unit of Plague Marines, just 5 Plague Marines with close combat weapons and a Power Fist. And then we got a squad of Death Shroud Terminators, which is 4 Terminators, and that rounds them out.
So we're going to go ahead and set up and then get our first turn out of the way. Alright, so we're all set up here. We've got our Tyranids all lined up, ready to make their big charge. Of course, the Tyrannosite with the 20 Hormagaunts are in reserve, ready to come in when needed. And then we have our Death Guard all set up, holding down that objective, and then they left their Terminators in reserve. So it is going to be Tyranids turn 1. Let's see what happens. Alright, so we're at the end of turn 1 for the Tyranids, and as you can see, everything pretty much moved up, and then we had the Tyrannosite back here jump down with the Hormagaunts. They tried to charge in at those cultists, but they failed their 9-inch charge, and we did have some shooting happen with the Hive Guard back here shooting at these Nurglings. They were able to just kill one set of Nurgling, or one Nurgling there, so not able to get a kill unit. So really not going to get much objectives, or not going to really get any points aside from just holding my one objective there. We're going to move over to the Death Guard's turn now and see what they can do for their turn 1.
So for the Nurgle turn, we used both of the squads of cultists and the Plague Marines to try and take out that Hormagaunt squad. Couldn't quite get the job done, even charging in. Did a lot of wounds, but couldn't quite clear them out. We moved up the Toads, both Demon Princes, managed to charge into the Termagant squads. I mean, they did as many wounds as they have attacks. I'm realizing that may not be the best place to put them because they just don't do enough attacks per turn. A lot of damage, but not a lot of wounds. And then the Terminators dropped in the backfield, attempted to charge the Hive Guard. I ended up losing 1 in Overwatch and then didn't make the charge anyway, so not super productive turn. I think we're going to get a point for sitting on our own objective, and that's it.
Yeah, and you did cast one of the trees here, so we have one of the Feculent
popped up a
tree. There you go. Nice custom tree there. So yeah, so at the end of turn 1, it's Tyranids 2 to Chaos 1. I realized that I did get behind enemy lines with the Spore and the Hormagaunts back there for holding down the end of the board there, but didn't quite get Recon. So we're learning a lot. I should have also mentioned too that the Tyranids are from Hive Fleet Kraken, so just I'm playing through those rules. And then, not even sure if I mentioned, but the Warlord is the Swarm Lord there. So anyways, we'll see what we can do moving on. Alright, so we're at the end of turn 2 for the Tyranids, and pretty much the same as last turn, was only able to score 2 points, so was able to hold objective 1, and I was able to get behind enemy lines with having 2 units back there. The Hormagaunts are just holding on. So things that happened this turn, the Swarmlord came in, charged the Demon Warlord there, the Demon Prince, and was able to put 3 wounds on him, but in return the Swarmlord took 2 wounds. The Carnifexes charged this Demon Prince, and I don't think they did really any wounds, maybe a couple, and then the Demon Prince actually killed one of the Carnifexes. So that was pretty brutal there. We did kill one of the Toads, and that was about it. So not too much has happened. We're pretty much locked in combat now. I will say the Hormagaunts ran out from being in close combat there with the Death Guard. Goodness, with the Plague Marines, but the Tyrannocyte did its little floaty maneuver and charged in and has them locked in combat currently. So we're gonna move over to Death Guard turn 2 for it.
So during the Tyranid turn, we managed to kill one of the Carnifexes, which got us one of the Gangbuster points. Then on the Death Guard turn, we charged in the Toads, we charged in Horticulus, and we just tried to go to town on the Carnifexes, managed to kill one more. Didn't do much to the Termagants. And then down south, Warlord against Warlord. I actually couldn't get hardly any wounds through by straight attacking, but that armor, the Subverting Plate or whatever it's called, it's putting out some mortal wounds. It's doing its job down there. Terminators in the backfield managed to charge in with the Hive Guard and kill a couple of those and lock up one of them, so hopefully it won't just get shot off here. And then in my backfield, we managed to kill off that 20-man unit Termagants, which got us 2 points for the Reaping. So, yeah, managed to... How many points was that total, Jeff?
I don't know the total right now, but you're definitely in the lead probably by at least 4, so, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, it was a bunch of points. It was a good turn for them. Not a lot happened as far as movement on the battlefield, but managed to sneak out some points.
Yep, alright, so we're going to move to Tyranids turn 3. Alright, so end of Tyranids turn 3, not looking too good for them. Realizing I'm playing, I kind of kitted out stuff to be more shooty and immediately charged them into things, and so they're getting slaughtered very slowly, but definitely getting slaughtered. I only got 1 point this turn. I did get recon. I'm in 4/4 of the table, but I'm not holding down an objective anymore. That Terminator was able to get me off, and actually I had backed out so that I could shoot at the squad, hoping I would kill them, realizing it also then took me off of the objective, so I'm not even holding an objective. Although I guess we would be probably contesting it anyways, so it wouldn't really matter. But anyway, so yeah, it's looking like a slaughterfest. We'll go ahead and just keep playing it out though, see what happens. But here our warlords are continuing to fight. I think we each have like maybe 1 or 2 wounds left, so it's pretty close. I don't even think that Prince has done any damage straight to the Swarmlord. It's just that armor, whatever he has, he keeps saving things, and so he keeps dealing damage back to the Swarmlord there, because I can't save those mortal wounds. The other Carnifex did go down, so we're done with the Carnifexes. We still have some Termagants over here locking a few of those units up, but anyways, I'm not sure if we'll get a tabling here of the Tyranids, but they definitely are getting outscored for sure. So we'll go ahead and move on to Death Guard turn 3. Alright, so we just finished up with Death Guard turn 3, and we're actually just going to call it here just because the Death Guard have kind of hit a point where they're so far ahead, and the Tyranids just really don't have a way of getting any more points with the next 3 rounds, 3 turns. So we're going to go ahead and just call it here, but it was a fun game. I think I learned a lot. This was the first time I played Tyranids using their new codex, and I definitely have learned some things. So just to let you know, the final score was 13-8, just stopping it right here anyways, and kind of assuming like getting line breaker and all that kind of stuff. But we did, just in the Death Guard turn, just to show, we did have the final showdown with the warlords right here. The the Swarm Lord was able to finally get through and kill that stupid Demon Prince. I'm not sure how many points is a Demon Prince though.
Oh, like 200 points.
Okay, so yeah, you know, 200 points to 300 points, and like the Swarm Lord barely beat him, and really it was because of that artifact. I mean, that was the only thing really doing any damage to the Swarm Lord. He just all those mortal wounds, he couldn't do anything about it, even with like feel no pain. It wasn't helping him too much. So over here, obviously the Carnifexers went down, the Termagants ended up going down to them as well. This Hive Tyrant got into some melee, was able to kill one of the Toads and just took a couple wounds. That group over there has just been locked down this whole game. And that's about it. So anyways, what were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I gotta say, I was starting to feel a little icky playing the Death Guard. Just that there's so many saves, it's ridiculous. Especially the Warlord there, he was rocking a 2-up armor save with a 5-up invul and 4-up feel no pain with the Warlord trait. Just ridiculous. But yeah, the new objective system is going to be really different to get used to. It's not random at all. You're not rolling for it. So the stuff you choose at the beginning of the game is huge.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that was partly my ending, what undid me anyways. My army wasn't that great, clearly. I'm just kind of playing some units that I thought would be fun to play, and then you know, not diversifying too much just because I wanted to try to keep it a little bit simple. There were definitely some mistakes that I totally just realized I made. One big one I thought was getting those Carnifexes. I charged them up wanting to get them into close combat, totally forgetting that I had, you know, 2 Twin Link or whatever, Devour, Brain Leech Worm, got loaded out with that. So they were shooting Carnifexes, and I put them in close combat, and they just hit like a wet noodle, and so then they just were, you know, soaking up wounds, and that wasn't very great. Same with these Termagants. I took Termagants, they got into close combat, yeah, they soaked up a lot of wounds, but they did nothing. They had no output. They just essentially locked down a couple units, and that was all they did. So I mean, really, you know, the Tyrant did pretty well. The Swarm Lord, he is a beast, but you do have to think about what you're gonna do with mortal wounds to keep him safe, because that definitely was no good.
Hive Guard were amazing.
Hive Guard are insane. Now, that is the one thing I've been hearing people say, is that Hive Guard are, you know, the ones that you want to take. And that I immediately realized why. You know, the 36-inch range, strength 8, ignores cover, you know, doesn't need line of sight. They were all-stars in this game, and I definitely should have used them even more effectively than I did. But yeah, I learned a lot. Anything you learned from Death Guard, I guess? Aside from they have a lot of saves.
The synergy between the Demons and the Death Guard didn't go exactly the way that I thought it would, and that's just me not really reading the rules. Like, things didn't work together like I thought they would, and other things worked together in ways that I didn't realize that they did. So yeah, I gotta sit down and learn my Demon Codex.
Yeah, and that Horticulus or whatever, the slug there, he's just awesome, first off. But those trees are really cool. It is interesting though, because I know you spent points taking 2 trees, but then you realize he moves so slow that it's almost not even worth it, because it's going to take him 2 rounds to even get far enough to plant another tree, to be far enough, you know, far enough away from the other one.
Pretty slow. They're really, that +2 to the cover is pretty huge.
Yeah.
And he was decent in close combat too.
Oh yeah.
So he's interesting. I'm not sure. We'll see. I kind of just want to take him because he's a demon riding a snail. Right.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. But
I don't know if he's worth it.
I totally agree. But that was a fun game, man, and looking forward to play some more of these ITC missions and trying out these new index. So, all right, man. Well, good game. I'll see you again soon. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please feel free to hit the like button below. And if you want to check out more Wolfpack Wargaming videos, please hit the subscribe.